Okay, if you have a Weber Smokey Mountain, do you need, nay, do you even want to buy an authentic Santa Maria style grill? And I would submit that you do, because they're awesome. But I know what you're thinking. You're thinking his hair looks weird, and I don't understand that. But I know you're also thinking that's impossible. Stick with me, and I will show you how to turn, hang on, dramatic zoom in, this into this. Oh, that. Well, okay, that's, I don't actually have a Santa Maria style grill, so that's kind of the point of the video. That's a web. Yeah, stay with me. Okay, so Santa Maria style cooking is something I've been obsessed with for the last few months. I've read everything I could get my hands on. I'm well aware that there are a lot of people who like to argue this stuff, as you would with any food that's regional and beloved, and I totally get that. And I'm gonna try to do my best to avoid all those topics and kind of focus on something that we can all agree on, which is, from the very beginning, Santa Maria style cooking was in an open pit over wood logs. You never used a cover. You never trapped the smoke around the meat like we often do in Texas. So I was trying to replicate those Santa Maria style grills where you have the basin in the bottom to hold the logs, and then you have the cooking grate, which you can crank down when you need to sear and then up when you're done searing. And I was looking at my Weber Smokey Mountain, and I realized, hey, I've got a basin in the bottom and I've got 2 levels of cooking grates. Now they're not adjustable, but there are 2 levels. Maybe that'll work. All I have to do is figure out how to get a charcoal burner to burn logs, because it's not designed to do that. Turns out it was easier than I thought. Take off the lid in the drip pan and just set it aside. Once you open those vents up, it gets plenty of oxygen. It works like a charm. So for seasoning, I'm using this Santa Maria style rub. This is called Susie Q's. It's really, really good. It was recommended to me by Bruce Sundberg, which is one of my subscribers. It's fantastic. I'll put a link to this in my Amazon store, the toilet paper store, and you'll be able to see that. That'll be in the description box below. So the basic plan is to put the tri-tip in for 10 to 15 minutes per side on the lower rack, and then I'm gonna move it to the upper rack. And I usually keep the door shut on the Weber Smokey Mountain itself, unless I'm adding a log. There's no real reason to keep it open. Also, I usually don't put food on the lower rack through that front door or through the door, because even though it works fine with smaller cuts of meat, something like tri-tip will plump up and you'll have a harder time getting it out. But I wanted to show you that because it kind of inspired the whole cook. So, or the whole idea behind this was, oh hey, I have access to that lower grate, and you do, but like I said, tri-tip gets thick and it's harder to flip. So 15 minutes per side, and then we'll move it up to the upper rack. We'll add the upper rack at that point, and we'll see you then. Okay, so here we are at the 15-minute mark. It's been searing on one side for 15 minutes. Let's flip this over and see what we got here. Oh yeah, that looks really good. I don't know why I'm surprised. Like, this is probably the I don't know, 5th or 6th time I've done this. Everything I've done has turned out great. I mean, lamb chops, I did a really thick ribeye steak that turned out fantastic. Of course, I've done tri-tip before. I mean, everything I've done like this has really, really been good. This is not a very good cut. It's a select grade cut. And the problem there is it's really hard to get good tri-tip here in Texas, and unfortunately tri-tip is one of those things, more than most, that benefits from going up a grade, at least to choice. And today is the day that most of the good butchers that I usually frequent are closed for, you know, after the weekend. So I really didn't have a chance to get a really good one. So all that to say, this is more of a proof of concept than an actual, you know, hey, this is a really good looking ribeye, because it's okay. You can see how it's cooking and how it's searing, you know, where we're going with this. And if you buy a really nice cut of meat, this is going to make it that much better. Okay, so it's been another 15 minutes. Let's flip this around and see what we have. Oh yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good. So at this point, what I usually do is I'm gonna pick this up, and this is where an actual Santa Maria style grill would be easier, but it's really not that big a deal. Put that in the shot there. And we good? Let's see what is going on with the autofocus. There we go. I'm actually running out of light out here, but my basic plan is to leave this like this. I'm gonna add a log because my fire's died down. I'm gonna monitor this with, this is the Fireboard. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. It's a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled thermometer. It used to just be a thermometer, but now it actually is a controller. They have the ability to use a fan, but I'm gonna keep an eye on that. When I've done this in the past, and you know, as soon as I say this, you're gonna have a different result, but it's been 15 minutes on sear, 15 minutes sear the other side, and then 15 minutes each side, and that brings it up to a perfect medium rare, which is what you're shooting for. 129 to 135, somewhere in there is how you want to do this. And it's always just been fantastic. So I'm gonna let this run for another 30 minutes. I'm gonna lose light here, but hopefully there'll be enough for me to finish this video. My wife is using the kitchen right now, so I can't, I don't want to kick her out because, you know, she might be making something. So, all right, 30 minutes like this, probably. I'll be back in just a few. Okay, so I've been playing around with this for the last few months, but what I didn't realize is there's a gadget on the market called the Gabby's Grills Santa Maria attachment, and my buddy Troy got one. Put a link to that in the description below. And in fact, there's another channel you should check out called, the guy's name is Andy Olson. It's a much smaller channel than Troy's, and he's been making videos about that for a long time. I'll put links to both those in the description box below. And then Phil and Florence has done a video about it, and another friend of mine named Ken, who's at Heavy Metal Barbecue channel, he's done a Santa Maria style hack video. So there's a lot of Santa Maria stuff out there right now. So I'll link to all that in the description box below, but I thought you guys would think that might find that interesting. I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but this is why you always use a thermometer. It took 20 minutes and now it's up to 133 degrees. Let me show you this. See if we get the exposure to adjust. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Again, I wish you guys could smell this. This is amazing. I added a log, those drippings from that tri-tip, not ribeye, I said it right this time, are dripping into the fire and sizzling back up. It's pretty amazing. So this is ready to go. I'm gonna pull this off and let it rest for a few minutes, and then we'll cut into it and see what we've got. Let's take a look at this here. You want to cut against the grain, obviously. Sometimes it's hard to tell which way the grain's running. That is not bad. I apologize if we're having a hard time focusing. It's really dark out. Let me see if I can work on that. All right, let me try to get out of my own light here. So yeah, this is not bad. It's definitely medium rare. That's what we're going for. Let me cut off a piece of this and give it a shot.
that's good.
Okay, so first off, I apologize. It's really dark out here. I've got Christmas lights up, and I feel like it's helping. I hope it's helping. But if this doesn't look good, I apologize. But I don't know what if this is better than a actual Santa Maria style cooker. But I do know it was really good, and it didn't cost me anything because I already had the cooker. So just being able to maybe closely replicate it, even if it's not exactly the same, it sure is good. And it's got this unique flavor where you it still tastes grilled. It doesn't taste smoked, it tastes grilled, but it has a kiss of wood flavor, and it's very unique, and I really like it. It's fun, and it's fun to do. There's nothing like the smell of logs burning. I mean, if you have an offset smoker, you know this already. There's nothing like that smell of logs burning in the cooker. It's really distinct, and it doesn't smell like charcoal, and it doesn't smell like pellets. I mean, it's a very unique smell, and it's wonderful. And you add that beef dripping into that fire, and it's freaking fantastic. So if you like this, click here. There's a video where you can see I hung ribs like in a pit barrel cooker, only I used the Weber Smokey Mountain if you like this kind of thing. Also, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking right here. And I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.